Welcome to the Void. Today we're going to be talking about a little quick video, only 3 minutes long, about a pastor who speaks on politics the same way he would give a sermon. I want to talk about this not because I want to talk about what the actual content that he's saying, but more about the way that he's saying it and what sort of message is underlying what he's saying. What sort of message that sends to his congregation and his audience. So, for the record, I don't know this pastor's name. He's a very Trump-happy pastor. He loves Trump. Even after Trump came out in favor of the vaccine, he still loves Trump. So he's that level of Trump fan. Talks about Trump to his congregation all the time. So we're going to get into this, see what he has to say, and mostly talk about how he's approaching these topics. Oh, no, wait. Don't stop recording. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, still standing with $133 million in his pocket, ready to fight another day, is Donald John Trump.
I just want to pause right there because there's a lot of loaded language in that. I'm not going to say dog whistles, but there's definitely loaded language where he's talking about the red corner, where red is standing in for the Republicans, and therefore it's going to be seen as good. Also, he mentions the amount of money that Donald Trump has in his pocket, which, if you notice, he's talking about this like an auctioneer or someone promoting a wrestling fight. Money has nothing to do with how you actually do in a fight. So the fact that he thinks it's relevant says more about him and his values than it does about how any fight would actually, any competition would be engaged in.
In the blue corner, one by one, they have fallen, all of the opponents. Michael Avenatti. Every night on CNN, I'm going to expose Donald Trump. When I get done with Trump, he will not be standing. Bye-bye, Michael. With your $300,000 stolen, you're going to expose.
There's talking about the money again. Talking about the money as if that's a relevant feature. Well, let's just keep going, see what else he has to say. He talked about Avenatti.
Who's Donald Trump, right? Enjoy the good life. And let's continue. Here we go, right down the next opponent coming up over in the blue corner. Who is it? Cracked Up Cuomo.
Okay, that is a loaded nickname. As someone who lives in New York, you can call Cuomo a lot of things. Crackhead is not one of them. Trust me, dude. Let's see what else he has to say. So far, he's just like naming people who have gone up against gone up against Donald Trump in the media.
No, the one every night on CNN that gave Trump a moral lecture, gave Trump what for, and foretold the eternal demise of the man in the red corner. Bye-bye, Cuomo.
Now, I may be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure Cuomo stayed in office while Trump left. I'm pretty sure Cuomo was still in office when Trump left. He's gone now, granted, but neither of them are exactly in the office that they were in before, so can you really say that Cuomo won or Cuomo lost? He stayed in longer than Trump did.
Another opponent rises in the blue corner by the name of Governor Cuomo. Do you remember every day was even going to run for president and replace Donald?
I want to issue a correction. Now he's talking about Governor Cuomo. Before he was talking about Cuomo's other brother who was on CNN. My misunderstanding.
Trump and was going to do this and going to do that. The governor is gone.
So is Trump. Yeah, Eric, and I'm not going to defend Cuomo. What Cuomo did, like what Governor Cuomo did, was really shitty. What his brother did, also really shitty. I'm just saying, if it comes to a competition in terms of like whatever standards he's talking about, which has not been set in any way, I have no idea how he's determining who, quote, wins and who, like, leaves their corner. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Trump and the Cuomos are at least on even ground here.
And then rising in the blue corner comes more and more and more. There is Sister Whoopi. Every day,
Whoopi?
Donald
Oh
Trump
no.
hater, Donald Trump later. Every Whoopi. Bye bye, Whoopi. Gone. Womp.
Whoopi's just on a 2 week hiatus. Like, she said some dumb stuff, she admitted she was wrong, she got corrected, and she's just taking a break to let the heat cool down before she comes back. That's all that's happening. She hasn't, like, been defeated by, what, cancel culture or anything. She said a dumb thing and got corrected and admitted to that. Congratulations. She's doing better than Trump is at, like, recognizing her own faults.
Womp womp. The next opponent rises in the blue corner, and my word, if it is not the man himself that created the strategy over at CNN to make Donald Trump's presidency a living, you know what, every day
He means hell.
destroying Donald Trump. Mr. Zucker is a
Oh, this is gonna
sucker.
get.
And now
I'm
the
afraid it might
sucker
get
is
anti-Semitic.
gone. Womp, womp, womp.
Um, is Zucker's? I know. Is Zuckerberg still the CEO of Facebook or Meta or whatever it is, or did he finally leave? I don't actually know. But regardless, he's a CEO, which is very different from a president, and he's still like really powerful. Trump is a has a bunch of investigations into him. He is still. Okay, so I have no idea what this guy's talking about. Trump is under a bunch of investigations. A lot of his money comes from fraud and bankruptcy claims um, that are being investigated. So he's probably gonna, like, his money, if it's based in the value of his possessions, is definitely gonna go down as that stuff gets confiscated through legal proceedings and financial proceedings. At least hopefully, if our system actually works, which I hope it does. We'll see. It's really slow and frustrating.
Ah, and look over there, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I guess we'll never know. Um, but yeah,
In the
Zuck and Trump are not comparable. Zuck is definitely in a better position. Therefore, I have no idea what the standards are that he's using, but I would consider Zuck to be winning, quote unquote, if you want to compare him and Trump.
blue corner comes Mr. Zuckerberg
Wait,
of
what?
Facebook.
Wait, hang on. Who are we talking about before then?
You know what? Every day destroying Donald Trump. Mr. Zucker is a
Zucker.
sucker. And now the
So,
sucker is
okay, I don't know
gone.
who this is. I take
Womp,
back what I was saying,
womp,
but
womp.
apparently Zuckerberg
Ah,
got brought up
and
anyways.
look over there, ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner comes Mr. Zuckerberg of Facebook. Yesterday, $30 billion poorer, no longer in the top 10 richest men in the world.
Trump's not nearly in the top 10 richest people in the world. Are you kidding? Like, yeah, Zuck's stock sank, and like I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not happy about that because Facebook is an evil. No, I don't want to say evil, but like an abusive corporation that's stealing everyone's data and using it to for capitalism, which is really unethical. But he's still got more money than Trump no matter what happens. So, you know.
One by one they rise, one by one they fall. In the meantime, over in the red corner, he's getting ready for the next round because the first round was the trial run. The next round is the home run. Have a good day, everybody.
Okay, so final thoughts on that. Trump, he's basically going through all these people who have talked bad about Trump and had something bad happen to them. Um, and like, yeah, that's cool that people have bad things happen to them, but he's basically just using confirmation bias. Oh, this bad thing happened to this other person, and this bad thing happened to this person. Even if it's temporary, I'm just going to pretend like it is permanent and that this is what they get for speaking about Trump in a bad way, and then completely ignoring all of the things that have happened to Trump as if those don't count or those don't matter. What really matters is Trump being alive, I guess, while all these other people have to have nothing bad ever happen to them. Which is like, A, it's not a fair fight. B, it just shows how much bias he has, that he will compare anything to Trump as long as it makes Trump look good if you look at it in a certain way, if you look at it in a certain light. This was the main problem I have with this is not so much, oh, look at this person, look at that person. It's the way that his audience will take this, right? Because he talked about this as if it was like a boxing match or a sermon where look at this person who stood up against this man of God and see where they are now. It was like I've heard similar sermons about the kings of Israel who were stood against God, and look, this one got taken down, and this one had a short life, and this one had a miserable life, and this one got dethroned, and this one had Israel captured. But the good kings like David, we're just going to ignore the adultery that he did. The good kings like David, they were the ones who were conquerors. They were the ones who were strong and powerful and brought Israel together and brought us into a golden age. And oh yeah, didn't he like do some shit outside of the adultery? Didn't he like cause genocide and destroy anyone who didn't agree with him? No, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Okay, yeah. If you read the actual if you actually read Joshua and see what that reign was actually like, it's really bloody. Like David got famous really because he conquered a lot of land and won a bunch of battles. So this is, and comparing Trump to this sort of like talking about Trump in this light, it gives it gives the impression to the audience that Trump is blessed by God or touched by God in some way where he has some sort of divine protection where anyone who comes against him will fall. And B, it overlooks any faults that the man may actually have in favor of this belief that he will always triumph. Especially that last bit where he talks about how this is the first round or the first term was a trial run and the second term will be a home run. Knowing how Trump did before, that's kind of scary because Trump, if that's true, Trump being actually successful at doing things and not just slowing down government could mean a lot more harm and a lot more danger to people like me, who's trans, and the people around me who are not white. Yeah, it would just be really bad. So, the talking about Trump like this, where you deify him and talk about him as someone who will always triumph, it's dangerous, and I hope this audience doesn't get the wrong impression about Trump, but knowing them, they've been preached at like this for months, if not years. The people who still listen to him, they're the ones who would soak it up and believe in Trump. So let me know what you think down in the void. Shoot your thoughts down there, hit like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And remember, Void loves you.